In 2026, Korea's economy is under strain from weak growth and rising prices. Small business owners argue sales are down, so interest rates must fall, while the government warns rates should stay high to contain inflation. Injecting more money could stimulate activity but risk higher prices. Keeping rates elevated may restrain inflation, yet further slow growth. This policy dilemma highlights the difficult economic crossroads Korea now faces: interest rate hikes and economic slowdown. At first glance, prices in 2026 look stable, increasing only modestly from earlier levels. But that stability came at a price. For more than 3 years since 2022, policymakers in government and the central bank have relied on the strong medicine of high interest rates to restrain fast-rising prices across the economy. As a result, inflation has eased somewhat, but at the cost of weaker economic growth, the ability of people to spend money and companies to start new projects. The most important tool the government uses to control prices is something called the interest rate, or lending rate. To understand how interest rates affect prices, we need to look at how money moves. When interest rates go up, borrowing money becomes more expensive. Therefore, people spend less, and companies delay investment. With less money circulating in the market, fewer people buy goods, which helps slow down price increases. However, high interest rates also reduce spending, which can hurt the economy if it's too much. This is why the government currently finds itself stuck. There's the fear that raising rates could stop the economy, but also lowering them could cause prices to rise again. The dilemma between inflation and growth. As the economy struggles to recover, some argue that interest rates should be lowered and government spending increased. But this creates a serious dilemma between economic growth and price stability. If too much money is released into the market to boost growth, prices that have settled down could rise sharply again. The risk is even greater for Korea because it depends heavily on importing oil and raw materials from other countries. So if the value of Korea's currency falls, imported goods become more expensive, which can push overall prices up to an unbearable level. Moving beyond the dilemma. So how can this problem be solved? In the short term, the government needs to clearly explain how it plans to manage interest rates so people feel less uncertain. In the medium term, Korea must develop future industries like artificial intelligence to produce goods more efficiently. Over the long term, the country needs to confront population decline and reinforce the economy's foundations. Ultimately, building solid economic fundamentals remains the only way to secure stable prices and steady growth simultaneously for citizens, businesses, and policymakers navigating uncertainty ahead together responsibly in Korea.